There's always something positive to be said about having first mover advantage, and our next guest certainly doesn't disappoint. We welcome Russ Campanello, the Executive Vice President of Human Resources and Corporate Communications at iRobot. And Russ, welcome to the Language of Business.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate the invitation.
Russ, there's been so much speculation and talk about robotics in the home for, the past 10 years or so. Where do you think home robotics are at this point in time?
Well, at iRobot, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Roomba. And if Colin Angle, our CEO, were here, he'd say we're just about at the beginning, because our view is that the home is actually going to be the robot. One of the capabilities that makes this possible is the Internet of Things. Simple appliances are connected to your home. So you can buy a refrigerator that's connected to the internet. We have a stove, we have door locks and garage door openers. This connected context is what we believe is a key enabler for the robotic home. So that concept of the Internet of Things is sort of fundamental to the idea that we can get, that we're at the beginning of the home robotics revolution.
What about 5 years from now? It seems like we're ultimately going to get to the total smart home, but it doesn't seem like we're completely there yet.
So I think what's going to happen for the user is that things are going to start to connect together in ways that they hadn't quite anticipated. A simple way to think about this is if you have a Roomba and you have a Alexa speaker or a Google speaker in your home, you have the beginnings of a smart home, because you can tell Roomba to clean the kitchen or to vacuum when you leave the house or set when Roomba cleans. That's the beginning of your interactions with the home. But if you multiply that, coming home and say, Alexa, turn the lights on in the living room, send the music from the kitchen to the living room, and make sure the stove is on, is now possible. The step that we think is going to happen in the next few years, the technology is going to enable the house to know that when you open the garage door at 7:45 in the morning so you can leave to go to your office, that's when the robot's supposed to vacuum. The dishwasher needs to be turned on. The light should go down, that the heat should go down. And in reverse, it knows that when the garage door goes up at 6 o'clock at night, the homeowner is returning. And the oven can go on, the music can turn on in the kitchen, the lights can go up. So that's how we see the robot of the future showing up in everyday consumer's life.
Let's talk about the social aspect of this. Do you think people really want so many internet devices and all of that stuff going back and forth 24/7 in their homes?
I think time has become so valuable. We know from our research with consumers that there's aspects of daily living that the consumer would like to offload and have the home be responsive to them so that they don't have to initiate for those fundamental activities that they do every day. And that's where we think robotics will have an impact in providing back to consumers of time that they would normally have to spend in just compliance activities of making sure their house is running in the way that serves them. The house will just serve them because of the intelligence that's being built into the home. And what we have done is to build in the privacy and the controls at the robot level that the consumer owns. So they never have to worry about their information becoming part of some greater system. It's always in the consumer's control.
Please tell us about the data that's being collected and what your company or others like it do about this. Should people be concerned about their own privacy being swept up?
We have 16, almost 17 million connected robots. And so we see a lot of telemetry about the utilization in aggregate. So if we discover an escape routine that works for a robot when it gets stuck under a sofa that's a little bit too low, we can send that escape routine to all the other robots so that the consumer has less worry about the robot ever getting stuck. The number one item we hear from consumers all the time is, I want my mission completed. When my robot vacuums, I want it to vacuum. And our vacuum efficacy, our mission completion is higher than our competitors because we understand where robots get stuck and how they get stuck. And then when we update the operating system of the robot with new capabilities, we can deploy that to the fleet, and the consumer gets informed about new capabilities that the robot would have that they may not have had before.
Are you saying that my appliance just gets smarter by virtue of being connected with the internet?
Key to utilization in the home is the consumer experience of the robots, and that the robots are serving the consumer. It used to be when robots first were deployed in homes that you had to work around the robot. Our robots now work around the consumer. We do that with the testing of our consumers. We're listening all the time, we're collecting telemetry, and we're updating as we can to increase the quality of that experience.
Russ, there are a lot of businesses similar to iRobot, but what makes you folks so different?
In 2016, we spun out our defense business and focused solely on the home and became a consumer robot company. In 2017, we sold our first internet-connected Roomba that allowed users to control the robot from their smartphone. We've sold 40 million robots. We've expanded from vacuuming to mopping, to both mopping and vacuuming. We just acquired a air purification business that is synergistic with the knowledge the robot has of how dirty the house is, how much pollen is in the air. Our capabilities around intelligence are the differentiators. It's the intelligence and the sophistication and the home knowledge that we've garnered over the years that helps our robots be responsive to consumers in a way that's distinguishable from anybody else, that makes the robot responsive to the user's needs as opposed to the user having to work around the robot. We continue to see opportunities to expand our footprint in people's homes, and we're excited about what's to come.
Russ, thank you so very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Russ Campanello from iRobot talking about home robotics and the Internet of Things here on The Language of Business.
Alexa, can you tell Roomba to clean under the kitchen table?
Okay.
Quiet. It's Alexa.
I knew this day would come.
We're cleaning under the kitchen table.
キッチンテーブルの下の掃除です
Strap in, people. Brace yourself.
Understands more voice commands than any other robot. iRobot OS.
How do you run 3 different divisions of a company concurrently when any of them could pop at any one point in time, but you only have so much person power to go around? We're being joined from Florida by Jeremy Schneiderman, who is the CEO and co-founder of Drone Nerds, and welcome to The Language of Business.
Thank you for having me. We're looking forward to having a great discussion today and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do.
When and why was Drone Nerds founded?
So we originally founded in 2014. We saw a drone, was mesmerized by the technology, said, you know what, we got to hunt down who this manufacturer is and see if they have representation in the U.S. And at that time, they didn't. And we saw that there was going to be some excitement around this category of products.
So this was a drone manufacturer that was from overseas, and you wanted to bring them into the United States?
Essentially, yes. And that drone manufacturer at the time is DJI, who now has about 80% of the global market.
There are 3 of you who co-founded the company. How did you find one another?
We were all partners in our previous business. One of my partners I've known since 6th grade, lifelong friend. Other partner, he was a sales rep at one of the distributors I worked with 25 years ago. Became friends, went to each other's weddings, and here we are today running the largest drone enterprise solution provider in the country.
You have 3 main divisions of your business. You have your repair side of things, you have your direct consumer, and you've got your enterprise side of things. In our pre-interview, you indicated that the enterprise is the most exciting to you and the future, but how do you run 3 different divisions of the same business concurrently?
Yeah, great people on our staff. We've delegated each division kind of its own business. We had leadership across each of those divisions, and really, each one has its own focus, its own resources, and we continue to make investments in talent and great people to continue to grow those divisions.
You at one point said during our pre-interview that in any given month you have 1,700 drones coming in and going out of your repair shop. How do you track the inventory of parts? How do you track the manpower to make sure, because everyone, I think, associates a drone with being an individual thing that you can keep in the palm of your hand, or something that you would, see in somebody's backyard, as you just put it. But there are agricultural drones, there are public safety drones. Help us to understand that aspect of your business.
And just for clarification, we have about 500 to 600 drones each month come through our service center. The 1,700 was our largest drone fleet today. But we have a complex ticketing system that we utilize in the service center. So whether you're enterprise or consumer and you have an issue with your drone, ticket gets created. You get a ticket number. When that's sent in, everything is logged, tagged, and it follows our system throughout the service center until it's ready to be shipped back to user or enterprise. And along that journey, we're keeping customer up to date on every stage of that ticket, through initial diagnosis to repair to ready to be paid, and then ultimately shipping back with a tracking number.
If DJI out of China has such large market share, why wouldn't they open up their own U.S. operation and basically do the repair on their own, since they manufacture the original products?
So that's a good question. They have a repair facility in California. Really, it's the quick turnaround that we're able to offer versus some of the volume that they're getting. Their turnaround times are a lot longer than our turnaround times. And it's our goal when we're servicing our enterprise customers, we want to be that one contact for them, not only for new equipment, for software, for services, for consulting, for training, and for repairs. So we can give them that whole ecosystem, really, so they have a one-stop solution to drive a successful drone program.
You've been quoted in the media and during our pre-interview as indicating that the enterprise side of your business is the most exciting moving forward. Why is that?
Adaption. Consumer drones have been around 2012, 2013. The enterprise world really hit the go button when Part 107 came about, which has only been a few years. And when you look at an industry, right, and you're only a few years into the industry, that's early. It's like, if you look at the computer boom, right, the first 3 years, it was kind of slow adoption, and then boom, everybody in every office has a computer today, right? There's a lot of verticals that we touch where we know that the drone programs are going to expand to a level that their competitors are at today. Example, large insurance provider, 1,700 drones in their program. Larger insurance provider, less than 200 drones. We know, in the near future, they're all going to be at scale.
What keeps you up at night most about the future of, first, drone nerds, and secondly, the industry?
For us, it's education. Making sure that everybody out there understands how much drones can do for them, especially in enterprises, right? Again, going back to, large insurance company has 1,700 drone, larger insurance company has 200 drones. Like, why aren't they at 1,700? Is there something that drone nerds can be doing to educate their users to get them to get this adoption? It's proven, right? We know they work. It's better actionable data. What we're doing in agriculture with better, crop analysis, higher yields, less pesticides, less fertilizers. I mean, it's proven. Now it's just educating the customer. So that's what keeps me up at night.
Jeremy Schneiderman, the CEO and co-founder of Drone Nerds, joining us from Florida.